Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today's review is on the Makeup Revolution Stick Foundation, and I have it in F4. This stick foundation has, it's fair with yellow undertones. The problem I had was I couldn't find my shade. They didn't have it in stock. They offered to order it for me, but then they turned around at Ulta and said that they could, they could order it, but it'll probably be in a few days, but so will their stock. So, and at Ulta, I didn't realize that if they do order you something, like say something's out of stock and you ask them to order it, they'll order it to the store and you don't have to pay shipping, which is nice. So I already moisturized my face with Oil of Olay, a very light moisturizer. I've had it on for about 15 minutes. Now I'm going to use the e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer that I had a review on down below. It was Battle of the Primers. I like this primer putty very, very much. It looks like I'm using a lot, but once you put it in, push it into your skin, it's clear. I use a lot of putty or primers around my cheeks where I have mild rosacea and very large pores. I put a little around my nose. I don't use putty all over my face. Right above right here always gets dry. Right above my lips, my nose. And one of my worst spots for dryness patches are right here, right above my eyebrow, right here, which is a pain in the butt. Sometimes it's actually my eyebrow hairs. I have very few eyebrow hairs coming in. I always do. It seems there's more eyebrow hairs there than over here, so that the putty is really good. I do like this. It was for $8 in Walmart. It's a newer primer. Jeffree Star just did a video on it on January 22nd or 23rd. If you look at his list of videos, it was Battle of the Primers between this and Tatcha's primer, which is $52, and this one is $8, and he did a wear test when he had makeup over it. Okay, this is pretty good. Now my review is only going to be on the foundation today, and I'm going to, of course, cover up my dark circles. And I'm going to do a wear test, and what I'll do is I'll have the wear test update in the description below. I'm going to try to wear it for at least 6 hours. I've never tried this before. This is new. I reviewed it in the video that you'll see before this one of my Marshall's makeup haul. Now, I know it looks light. Not even really sure how thick this is going to be. I've looked at some reviews. I have my beauty blender all wet. I don't know how much really to use. Sorry about me looking kind of crazy without eyebrows and my dark circles. This started happening a year ago. They were never like this, which is crazy. But this is what happens when you age, right? So I'm going to take my beauty blender and I'm going to blend this out. I do blend around my eyelids and under my eyes with foundation, and then I use 2 different under eye correctors to conceal. I use NYX. It's a professional, it's like a little pot, and it's slightly orange to cancel out. I put that under my eyes, which I'm going to show you. And then I put on Wet n Wild's concealer I have two shades. I have a shade that matches me, and I have a shade that's a little lighter. I do the NYX first, then I put on the Wet n Wild that matches my skin tone, and then I use the other one to brighten just a little bit. And I do bake, but I bake very easy with Coty airspun because my under eyes get dry and they stay dry. Now, how does this look? I don't mind medium coverage foundations. I don't mind if some of my natural, the look comes through. I'm not really into, unless I have somewhere I want to go or I'm really in the mood to do full coverage. It looks too cakey on me. It looks too mask-like. Let me pull back a little bit here. I'm sorry about the lighting is terrible. Today's another day where it's raining and it's dark. And I have on my lamp, because I'm ordering, I'm still trying to choose which one. I'm still trying to look and see what I like. A makeup mirror that has lights on it. I've looked on eBay. I've looked on a couple different websites, Walmart. And I don't know. Some of the reviews are good on some of them. Some are bad. I don't know if I'm looking at one that's for $30, and then I've looked at one that's almost $100. So I don't know which one I'm going to like the best. Sorry about the noise. That's the cat in the bathroom. When he wants my attention, he likes to go in there and he likes to knock stuff off in the shower or in the bathroom sink. Angel. Sorry, I'm calling him. Angel. Okay, I do a little around my ears. Always pull it down so you don't look like you have a mask. This. So how does it look? How does it look? Looks a little, especially when I'm looking in my mirror that's right on the side here, my stand mirror. It looks a little, let me look a little bit better. Looks a little cakey, a little thick, I should say. And this is how much has been on the Beauty Blender, quite a bit, which isn't abnormal. You always pat. I only drag around my neck area. Ooh. My face is bloated. I could tell right down here when my chin gets a little chubby. So I could tell when I'm bloated. This looks right here always looks a little more worse. It looks more bloated. But what are you going to do, right? Okay. Now that I'm using the blender, I might have had just a little extra, a little too much when I was applying this, which is okay, because you can always correct. Using the blender, just keep pouncing your life away. I think I've been doing this almost 3 minutes while I've been talking, which is okay. And you can see some of my dark under eye. I can see a little bit, which is okay because we're going to correct that. So like I was saying, I'm going to do a wear test, and I'm going to see, I will try 4 to 6 hours to see how long this can hold out. See if I get greasy in my T-zone. The weird thing is I'm dry here, here, and here, and my under eye. And the crazy thing is I get oily right up here, and I get oily right around, just like this, right here. And then sometimes my chin is dry, like right here, and right here I get a little bit of redness. This combo skin is so crazy, right? Okay, so now that I'm done pouncing my life away, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the NYX. This is a color corrector. I have very little of it left. It's like an orangey consistency. You'll see when I put it on. I bring it down just a little bit. I do not use the wet sponge to bring this to make it melt in, because what it is it takes away from the color corrector. Okay, you can see it's kind of pinky, orangey. Sorry, I keep looking in the mirror as I keep doing this more and more. As I practice with these videos, I'll get better, I promise. And what I do is I have a sponge that usually can get right in here, but that's in the other room. Just lightly tap it. Lightly tap. I have a little mark here. It almost looks like a scratch. I think when I was showering, I don't know, I must have felt like I banged my fingernail against my face. Okay, there we go. That looks decent now. What I do is this is the Wet n Wild color corrector. I know it looks a little yellowy and dark, but I'm almost running out. Ooh. But it does match. Almost. My skin. Then what I do is, I know it looks like a lot of steps, but what I do is just bring this out. While we're doing this, I'm letting the Makeup Revolution foundation stick. I'm letting it melt in my skin. You always have to give foundations a while to see how they act. A lot of foundations on me, and I've said it before, they oxidize on me. And that's why I always try to go just a little lighter, because if I go a little darker, then it gets dark. I have to lighten up the foundation with Coty Airspun. Let me put a little concealer right there. Okay, looks a little better. Then I use a little bit of brightening. It's also Wet n Wild concealer, but it's a little lighter. There we go. I don't go down too far, because if I use too much concealer, I notice it'll bring out the texture. I have very large pores, and my face has a lot of texture, and I have mild rosacea. I have talked to my dermatologist about maybe doing I'd have to pay for it because it's not covered by insurance, maybe doing a derma peel or something similar to a peel, because I just put a little on my eyelids and I let that dry. So when I want to, instead of using eyelid primer for your eyeshadows, I use a little concealer. Okay. It might not look the best. I try to cover them the best I can. What I'm going to do is use a little bit of Coty Airspun, and I bake just a little bit. Now, what I do is I use a round puff. For me, this seems to work a little bit better. I do not use the Beauty Blender wet, because to me it just defeats the purpose of of baking. So I bake a little bit. Now what I'm going to do is set my face, because I want to see how this Makeup Revolution works. I want to set my face with the Coty Airspun, which I don't always do. Sometimes I'll set just a little bit in my forehead and right here, my T-zone. But for this, I want to see what happens. I want to see if it looks cakey. I want to see if it emphasizes any wrinkles. I'm just patting. I don't have a lot on here for the Coty. It's just you're trying to set the foundation. I usually set it around my T-zone, but like I said, I want to see how it looks everywhere else. There we go. I want to see if it makes dry patches. I want to see if it does anything weird. Does it oxidize? Funny. So I can give a good update. It'll be a written update in the description. I can't add to this video on my tablet. I have to learn how to do that on here because I haven't been able to figure that out. Okay. Especially right here where I get these lines. Right here, you get the smile lines. I want to see if this... Okay, the Coty. Alright, now since I baked, let me pull some of that off. Yeah, it did. The Coty, I'm not sure if it's the Coty or if it's the foundation. It is the lines right here. It is causing creasing. And I know these two products that I use, NYX and the Wet n Wild, do not crease when I use Wet n Wild Photo Focus foundation. And I put the foundation up under my eye. But you gotta let this sit sometimes for a little while. Let me look at the monitor. How does it look? You see a little darkness. I always like that, but when I let this sit for a little bit, it looks a little bit better. Okay. Also, I'm puffy, so that might be another thing, because in the monitor you can see how it emphasizes the lines. I'm also I am puffy today. But, okay. So, what I'm going to do is, I'm going to leave this sit. I'm going to do a 4 to 6 hour wear test, and I will update in the description how it looks, how it held up, if it really creased bad, if I started seeing more. It feels, yeah, I set it with the Coty, but it's set. I don't feel any stickiness, any weirdness. You know how some foundations have a funny feel? No, I don't have any of that. Feels good. Feels lightweight. Even though when I was putting on, I said it might be a little thick and cakey, but bouncing it with the blender, no, feels pretty good. Okay, so in the description, I will have an updates for 4 to 6 hours to tell you if it creased, if it oxidized, if it did anything funny, if it started to break down, because all I have on is Coty Airspun. I set it, and of course I have the NYX and the Wet n Wild underneath my eyes, and a little on here where I did scratch myself. And that's it. So I'll give you an update on how it held up, and what I'll do is, this is my first impression. I should do an update video. I'll give 2 weeks of using it, an update to see if I really like it, if it's worth the $9, or should I just try something else, okay? Thank you for watching my video. Bye.